Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and wow, our webcams are all messed up. Perfect. Let's go ahead and fix that a bit for you. There we go. I don't know how this happened, but it did. Let me go ahead and
Ooh, we're all little.
fix that.
It's all fine,
Okay,
man.
yeah, that's fixed. And then we'll go ahead and fix. Perfect. Everyone just grew on stream. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Naturesbf. Welcome to the second episode of the Open Fort podcast. Joining me is Rens, Pheylop, and our special guest, who you may have seen streaming auto chess over the last few months. You may have seen him streaming TFT, or you may recognize him from the League of Legends professional scene from years ago. We have Tabzz. Tabzz, welcome to the show. How you doing? How you been enjoying your last week and with TFT coming out and all that?
Well, I can tell you it's been a pretty weird week with DAC dying and stuff, having to go into new games and playing Underlords tournaments. It's
Yeah.
yeah, it's been a pretty weird week because like in the last month I would just wake up and stream DAC for like 8 hours every day and it was just normal. But now new shit's happening, new games.
Yeah. It's been. I don't know. I've really enjoyed learning new stuff, to be honest, which isn't typically me. Usually when I play a new game, like I like to be good at a game and have a game figured out and then go for ranks. But I've really enjoyed learning new things. So I don't know. It hasn't been quite the experience I had when I first played auto chess though. When I first played auto chess, I literally would play like 24/7. Pheylop.
I think it's really fun to go on.
No, go ahead. No. Finish your thought.
No, I think I said it was really fun to learn new stuff too. Like I've had a lot of fun learning Teamfight Tactics, especially. I think Dota Underlord kind of just the same as DSC except worse, or like a lot of stuff is worse.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
but like when you can tell as a streamer, your audience is kind of all over the place. A lot of people from DAC are probably like a lot of like hardcore Dota fans for me, and they were not really too open to League of Legends, for example. Because there's this historical rivalry going on between auto chess and between Dota and League. So some of them didn't really appreciate me playing TFT. I guess you guys might have had the same thing. Especially some of you, I know in particular. Yeah. So yeah, go on.
Yep.
Pheylop, I was gonna ask how's your week been with the release? How have you been enjoying yourself? You actually got to play this week, so.
Well, let's see. I was very scared because I was like, I am so fucking bad at this game. Right? I was like, I'm just gonna fall off and disappear into the mists of history and never accomplish anything. But I just didn't think I was very good at the game. I woke up and someone messaged me in Discord being like, "Did you know you're top 100?" And I was like, "I'm top 100 in TFT? No fucking way." And I look at it, I'm literally higher than like all my friends. I'm just like, what?
Yeah. You already had to get the brag, and I get it. All right.
It started out with the brag, dude.
Just saying, me and Tabzz top 50. Me and Tabzz top 50.
Yeah. I didn't make.
Rens is also in the top 200, I think, dude. And he's never even played League before. He doesn't even know any of the League characters. Just played 2 shitty comps, and he got top 200.
I just missed top 100. I'm sad. I would have been satisfied top 100, I think, but I just missed it. So now I'm not happy about it.
That was the most surprising. Is that like I know you have like insane records, so I'm really surprised. It must have to do with like the people that you're playing with or something. I don't know.
I was okay. So there's I guess there's 2 parts to that. I was queuing with people, but that were good from DAC. Like I queued with I queued a bunch of 7-person lobbies for like a whole day with all people that were like queen players from DAC. But that doesn't actually mean they had high MR, I guess, right? That just means that they're good at DAC, not that they had high MR in TFT. So maybe. Rens, what about you? How's your week been?
Yeah, it's been a really fun week in TFT, learning all the new stuff, being very slow at the game, like dying with 40 gold over and over again in the beginning because I'm just too slow at rolling, and then I just level up because I can't spend this 40 gold, man. I'm way too slow. I have to read the units, read the the synergies and stuff. Like I have no idea how to position. I don't even know what abilities do. Like I mean I do now, but in the beginning it was really, really annoying. Yeah. But it was really fun to learn though. We had some bad Underlords tournaments which we're not gonna talk about. But,
we are gonna talk about it, but
great.
Don't worry, Rens.
We're not gonna talk about it. We're not. I wanna veto it, dude. No.
Don't worry, you did better than Nature's. It's okay.
Yeah. Well, no. If you think about it, I got like 0th place. Or at least I got like did not attend, and then I got like whatever the average is, right? I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. I also only played the first tournament.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I only played the first one. Yeah.
Yeah, we only
Wait,
played
but your first wasn't any better than your second.
I wasn't in the second. What? Dude, what are you talking about?
Uh-huh.
Tabzz won the first one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna remember that one.
Yeah.
Wait,
I wanna remember the
Tabzz,
second one.
Tabzz, how many Medusas did you build in the tournament? Just out of curiosity.
The first one,
Yeah.
probably too many to count on my hands.
Okay.
To be honest.
Okay, I just thought I'd ask.
I mean, the first game, I can remember I went for like 4 orcs and I had like triple passive that the orcs gain 50 health per kill. So I
Yeah.
had like a 9k HP Juggernaut with 3 warriors, and then I fought the hunter player and he died in like half a second, even though I had 9,000 health and 15 armor.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I got second place because I couldn't beat the hunter guy. So then the next 4 games in the tournament, I just played hunters every game, and then I won the tournament. So that was my first.
We had one game on the NA
Nice.
side which wasn't won by hunters. We had one game. It was pretty sick. I think it was Sleet that won it with warriors and trolls. I think it was trolls actually. So
And they Omega.
I think
Low?
Sleet's in the chat right now. Shout out to you for being the only person to win a game without hunters in that tournament.
In the first tournament, yeah. I'm glad I wasn't here for that. It sounds like it was not very fun.
So
No, I wasn't.
we're gonna change how the middle thing looks, but here's the thing: is that this one time, I think the webcam's gonna messed up again. So
Alright.
get ready for us all to shrink, and I'll fix it. But
That's
yep.
that's fine.
Oh, just
Oh,
keep it
it
like
takes
this. Keep it like this. Okay.
Nah, I mean, you gotta adjust it though.
No, keep it like that. Looks
You
great.
have to regrow everyone again?
Yeah.
All right,
That's-
all right.
Yeah. All right. That's the only time I'll have to do that. Don't worry.
Dude, look at all those queen lobbies.
Damn,
Yeah. All right.
such an active.
That's our first topic of the day. Is auto chess has seen a bit of a decrease in player base and viewer numbers. In a bit, I mean like everyone left. This is like literally this is every single lobby on QIHL, which is the website people use to find matchmaking in the West. Like everywhere except China, pretty much uses this. And this is all the lobbies that are being made that aren't like for people pretty much bishop and up, which is like a middle tier rank. So yeah, so who here? Okay, I know Rens, you've played a lot of auto chess recently. How's that been like from
Yeah.
day to day?
Yeah, I mean, last few days I could play like 1 queen game a day, sometimes 2. But during my streaming time, I was like, 1 or 2. But off stream, when Air was streaming, I played some DAC as well. Because then the lobbies were actually filling with Russians. But like yesterday, I played a Rook 5 lobby with Pheylop. And before that, it was like a Rook 6 lobby on my queen account. So like, it's been rough finding games. And I think no one actually cares. I mean, it's the game is just.
Say the word.
It's. I'm not gonna say the word. It's over. It's over. We're not gonna call it dead because it's gonna get an update. But it's kind of
that's
over
true. It's
for
still
most
being
people.
supported.
It's still being supported. So I don't know. Maybe I'll try it when the patch comes out. I don't know.
I mean, the worst part is that right now it's definitely the best game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it still is.
For sure.
Yeah. Have either of you been playing much auto chess in the last week, or just only TFT / some Underlords?
Well, I have not been playing any auto chess at all since
Yeah.
TFT came out and stuff. Well, I wasn't really playing that much before already because I felt like kind of cheated. Because, well, first of all, like the devs enabled like MMR boost,
Yeah,
so
construction,
literally
yeah.
everyone and their mom got queen for free
Yep.
with like a 30% win rate. So that's
Yep.
kind of like, why would I play the game when like they're gonna do stuff like that? Just kind of felt cheated out of my own accomplishments. And then second of all, like that, like a bunch of the player base went to play in Chinese lobbies and got like artificially inflated matchmaking rating because of that. Because like in China, of course, like the people at the same rank are just worse because
Yeah.
like it's a bigger player base, so it's like more spread out. Like and like more people are queen that would probably be like Rook in Europe because there is more player base. So like I was already feeling kind of demotivated to like rank up in auto chess because it just kind of felt meaningless because I couldn't really compare myself to other people anymore. Like my rank wasn't really like a basis of skill anymore that I could compare myself with for those reasons. So yeah, I didn't really stream it much. Also, like, of course, the population is really small, so you would wait a very long time to try and find a good game. I think the population in DAC is kind of like a house of cards, where if like some people start leaving at the top, then the lobbies start dying, and then the people who are still trying to make lobbies have to wait a really long time, and then they start leaving, you know, and then it just kind of crumbles because nobody's playing anymore, and then nobody wants to sit in a lobby for hours trying to find people to play with. So then, yeah, like, you get the situation where only like at the highest amount of population there will actually be games, which is like in low rook and high bishop and stuff where there's still players. So yeah, the high elo scene in DIC is almost just completely dead at the moment.
In NA, the whole time auto chess existed pretty much is that we had that happen already where like there wasn't NA games, so people in NA wouldn't queue, like wouldn't bother playing, which means there's less NA games. And so we had that cycle of like just less and less games already, and now it's just happening to the whole auto chess genre. Or the whole auto chess game, I mean, not genre.
Whoa. Yeah.
Whoa. What the
Yeah. The whole auto chess genre.
It's
For
dead,
me,
boys.
the whole week I was gone, but like everything fucking happened, right?
Yeah.
So like the boom, and then like the inflation, and then like when I came back, I literally just didn't even play deck. And then we had our podcast, and someone was like, "What do you guys think about the Beastmaster changes?" And I was like, "What the fuck, Beastmaster changes? What the hell?" And like that's how long it's been. And like yesterday, I played a game of auto chess with friends where I was like, "All right, guys, one for the road. Like, I'm gonna send this game off, play one more." It was a fun time. I did better in Rens, and that's all that mattered. I got 7th. So
What? Everyone does better.
I was watching Rens play that game on stream, and he was baby raging so much he was playing Knights, I think.
What? Did you see my game?
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was like, damn, never lucky, man. I even high rolled a DK2 with an IO and I still lost.
I love this game, but this game hates me. Blah 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 blah.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what
Exactly. That is true.
What do you guys think about?
Rens, you're just really unlucky, actually.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay, I've heard Ren's and Pheylop's opinion on this. If you go to the auto chess genre right now, first of all, the viewer count's like really low nowadays for auto chess as a game. I keep saying genre, don't I? Whatever, category. On Twitch. But if you look at it, like the top 10 are all mobile players, except unless it's like one person that's big streaming. But pretty much all of them are mobile players. We talked a lot about it last week between us about how we're not really that interested in mobile. Pheylop liked it a little bit playing when he's out of town. Tabzz, I've not heard from you about your opinion, like just like playing mobile, even if you're playing on an emulator.
I've never even played a single match of mobile
Yeah, I haven't
auto
either.
chess
Okay.
yet, so yeah, I can't really give my opinion there.
Is that not something you'd be interested in?
Like, I just don't think I would play mobile auto chess if I could just play Dota auto chess, right? Like, what's the point of going all the way, having to play on an emulator and then playing with like random blobs as units and mobile graphics instead of just playing the real thing? Like, there's not really much point. There's not much competition. Like, there's not even any queen players. Like, most players are like knight or pawn, and like there's a couple rook players. Like Oran, I think, is like top 25, and he's like rook 5 or something.
Yeah.
Like, the game is just really not that competitive. It doesn't have a competitive scene, so it's like there's not really much point playing there, I think.
Yep. Okay.
It also doesn't look very nice. I don't know.
No, it's
Mobile
not.
games on PC? I don't know, dude. I don't think mobile games on PC work. On the Lord.
Yeah, and Rens, you're not liking how it looks even in the Epic port, right?
Yeah,
Wait,
it's kind of
did
the
they
same,
release
right?
graphics for that?
There was like a
some
few pictures, right?
Wait, where is it? I won't find it.
Let's see. It's kind of the same as the mobile, right? So
Okay.
the art
So
style's the
colors
same.
feel like pastel-y and like pinks and
Yeah.
like light blues. And
I don't know, man. I
Yeah,
don't know.
it's
It's not very enjoyable. Like when I watch Oran stream, it doesn't look good to watch. I mean, like not as DAC. I felt like DAC was so good to watch. Maybe because I'm used to it though. But I feel like mobile games, especially like Underlords as well, right? They're just not very. They don't watch. Just not pleasant to the eye. I don't know.
I'm not sure why
I think-
DAC was so good to watch, but it really was. I really enjoyed watching DAC. Similar to Hearthstone, I really enjoyed watching Hearthstone as well.
It was
it
more
has, like,
interactive though.
right? Like, for some reason, you would never expect it, but auto chess, like, it just was such a good like game to watch, even if you didn't play it. Like,
Yeah.
you could just watch a streamer for hours and without even realizing the time going by, because like the game was just like hypnotizing to watch for some reason.
That's how it took
like
off,
the
right?
visuals and the audio and everything. Like, the whole experience of just watching the game and like the fights, like it was really fun. I think.
Yep. I agree.
I think one of the weirdest choices they made was like, well, it's not a weird choice, but they had to do it for mobile. But like the whole thing of like being on the same map as everyone else, actually like is such a big difference for like a viewer experience. It just doesn't feel like as competitive or as involved just because you're on your own island and you have to hit, like tab and it just like switches screens, which is just weirder. It's a different experience.
It just feels like very alive. Like I don't know. It just feels like a world where all like fighting against other comps, and it just feels really social and alive. And of course, people do it because of like performance issues, right? Like, the ESC had a lot of trouble with like performance issue because there were a lot of fights going on at the same time. So it's not very good for your for your PC, but it had some benefits as well. Like I don't know.
Tabzz, was it you that I saw mention the whole like you watch a CK3 just slap people and it does like a ton of damage every time he auto attacks, and that you don't have that feeling in TFT? Was it you?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was me.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. It's like, yeah, this is like, I guess they moved a lot of the power towards items and like really fast attacks, and you don't have that feeling, except for with like cast with like Aurelion Soul, of like just these giant hits of like just like a very strong unit that is like a 3-star just carrying even with the items, right? It was
yeah, like getting like say around 6 or 7, like just CK2 or something with a Mask of Mans, and you just watch it just like 2-shot every unit on the enemy team, and it's just like going to town. You just don't have that on TFT at all. Like
even Draven. Draven's an exception actually.
I don't know. I don't actually agree with that. I actually think like when I see like a Nidalee 3 with like 3 items on it and it's just like slapping the shit out of things, I feel very satisfied. And I don't act like it's weird because Underlords is basically a port of DAC, but I don't get that from Underlords because they haven't worked on the graphics. So like my level 3 units don't even look cool. They're just like 20% bigger than the previous unit.
They don't look that cool in TFT either. They look they're gold, I guess, or whatever color that is.
Definitely, right? Like, but like I would say, like because I'm used to it though from DAC, when I see it in Underlords, it's like the worst feeling. I'm like, why is my PA not fucking awesome with like these like giant fucking blades? And like, and the fact that you can only put one item on things really takes that like hyper carry like PA3 out of the game, right? So you don't get to see cool stuff like that anymore.
True.
All right.
But I can see where you're coming from, where like there's definitely not that feeling, and there's not like an early power spike as crazy as stuff like that in the newer games compared to DAC.
I mean, the fights are so much shorter in TFT, right? So like you cannot see someone soloing for like 25 seconds just the whole team. Like most fights are over in like 10 seconds.
Have you seen Kale 2?
Yes.
Just sit there and watch it for 25 seconds by itself. Just be like, I'm just gonna keep these two units alive where it's just slap forever. And like depending on timing, right?
Doesn't feel that great.
It's funny.
Have you seen my 6 Knights build with a Kassadin Knights Vow, 3-star Kassadin? I'll tell you that that build only loses to timeouts.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
That build, and I literally died to draws. Like they could never kill my Kassadin, so like I would just die to draws because when you draw, you take damage.
80 feels small.
Yeah, because I feel like, I mean, I guess it's because like I look at like a Draven that deals 900, but I guess that's a Draven. I don't know. It's like, I don't know.
Let's talk about it later though. There's a lot of TFT.
All right.
Yeah.
So
we were at DAC.
True.
But I don't know if you want to go on.
So Underlords last week, open beta dropped. You don't have to have the invitational or the
Battle Pass.
Yeah, the battle pass for. I can't think of the word. I'm just saving me. It starts with an I. Help me.
Yeah.
International. Jeez, the international.
Thanks for supporting the international.
Yeah, the international battle pass. So anybody that had that could play before, but now it's out on open beta, which means they have ranked. I have personally, I went and I played, but it just didn't feel that satisfying in general to play the game, so I couldn't really make myself play ranked, even though I really do like ranked systems in general. I think it was Rens that did play some ranked. I think Pheylop played a little bit as well. Yep. So what is your guys' experience been with that?
I played after the tournament, just to try it out. And yeah, the beginning is very weird because I got 5th one game and then I ranked up, so that felt really wrong. Yeah. But that's probably because of beginning ranks, so I don't know. But yeah, it is fun to see ranks and go up. But like, I feel like some people are already like the top rank. I think like after 1 day or two, like 1 day for
Wait,
like
really?
after a few days. No, not one. But like after like 5 days, people are like almost at top rank already. So
Yeah, I
don't
saw
know.
a few Reddit posts about like 3 people hitting top rank, and like they said that they just played a lot and that like they didn't even like play super well. And I was wondering, can you even lose ranks in that game or no?
Now you can lose like ranks, but not drop. Like let's say you cannot drop below Rook, but you can go like Rook 2 to Rook 1, but you cannot go to Bishop 9.
Oh, but
So you don't
I got
drop out of the
7th.
thing.
I got 7th in one game and I ranked up and I was like, what?
Yeah, but
Really?
yeah, but that's like the first ranks, the beginner ranks. I think the
Yeah.
beginner ranks are more like placement ranks.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I don't know, placement games, but they gave it a rank. I don't know if it's.
Yeah,
it
they
feels
might have
really
it so
weird.
like they have like ranks where you can only move up, and then once you hit a certain rank, then it's like a regular ladder. That's how Hearthstone does it. Although Hearthstone's ladder is very strange and not actually MMR based, so that's a whole different discussion.
Nah,
But
make the people who are bad feel bad.
yeah, well,
So about the
No,
ranks,
no.
do you know if the ranks like appear like right next to the portraits and stuff or not?
No.
Because I didn't see that, and there was like a big difference for me between DIC. Like in DIC, everyone's ranks like big. It's like right there in the screen. This guy's Rook 3, this guy's Rook 7, you know. And like when you rank up, when you went from like Rook 3 to Rook 5, you felt like a fucking baller, you know. Like holy shit, I'm so good at this game. And like
Yep.
when I went from Grifter 2 to Grifter 3 or something, I was like, you know, it didn't really feel nearly as prestigious, and I didn't really feel that motivated to climb the big boss either. That really didn't
That's
sound
right.
that prestigious to me, you know. You know, like
Big.
Queen sounds like it's royal, it's
Yeah,
prestigious.
yeah.
You know, you want to be Queen, that's sick. Like, but you don't. I don't want to be big boss, you know. It's
and you want to display it to everyone as well, right? That's just how rank systems usually work. That's why you have like in League of Legends and a bunch of other games as well. If you get a certain rank for the season, it displays a border around you. You want it's cool to have people see that. It's part of the whole point of a rank system.
I think bigger than that is just that no one gives a fuck. Like, no one's like, who's the first person who hit Big Boss? Literally, no one gives a shit, and I don't know why.
I mean, maybe some people do, man. Just
Yeah, I
because
think
you
some people
don't-
probably do.
It seemed like
Like-
so many more people cared about Queen, right? Like there was so
yeah,
much
that
more
was like a
buzz
big
around it.
thing.
But auto chess is way
Yeah,
bigger than
I mean,
Underlords is right
Chess was
now.
way. Yeah. For
Even
the
in the
competitive
beginning,
scene, at
no,
least.
even at the beginning when there was like just like some of us playing and the game wasn't like super popular, people still really care. Like the 50 people at the top are just like, who's he get Queen first?
Yeah, but
like,
isn't that because also it was like super new? I don't know, man. I
Well,
feel like
Underlords is super new, right? Like
nah,
Hmm.
but it means it's not like an okay, sure, it is new game, but there are probably people that care a lot about it, so I don't think we should discredit it. I think it's I think it is still an accomplishment to get the highest rank
I
first.
mean, yes,
Probably.
I want Underlords to be successful really bad. I want them to make
Yeah.
the changes that are necessary to make it good. But I think right now, like none of the people who are like the higher ranking queens in auto chess care about getting a high rank in
that's
Underlords.
true.
And
That's
that
true.
says a lot.
I don't know people
every
really from
single
there
one.
that are transferred from auto
Yeah.
chess that are caring. But
That is
so
Look at the 4 of us. Like none of us care about being Big Boss.
So
because
here's one thing is I just want to note there's something that was said. It is very impressive still to be the number one in Underlords because it's impressive to be the number one in any game because that's like regardless of how good the game is, the number one player is still doing better than everyone else is playing the exact same game. So just to note, I think that was mentioned is like no, that's still awesome. It's just the reality is like none of us are like caring enough to go for it ourselves, and same with like auto chess players in general. I think there are a few people. I heard Rens mention Savich is playing it still. Swimstream is playing it.
yeah.
But there are some people that are playing Underlords from auto chess.
I mean, I
but-
know Grunt playing it.
Yeah.
And like the winner of the last tournament. I don't know. What is it? Dougal? I don't know.
Nagol.
Show it right now.
Dougal. Oh yeah. So he was.
This
Um,
shitty little
oh yeah,
graphic.
this tournament. So he was playing it. So because I was asking people, the people were playing it, High Queen players, and they were playing. So there are like a few people. But the thing is, right, with TFT coming out, I think we've I think we all played would have played ranked in Underlords if there wasn't a TFT.
Yes.
Probably, right?
I
So
would
it's just TFT just messed that up, and no
Yeah.
one's pushing for the ranks.
I mean, honestly, then people would probably still be playing DIC. I think.
Yeah. Okay, sure. Or DSC.
As
That's
well.
true.
I
Yeah, but
didn't.
yeah, probably.
When Underlords came out, I
But
played.
a
I
lot
played.
more people came.
okay, so when Underlords came out, I played Underlords like almost only instead of DAC because of the whole like construction boom MMR gain thing. Like I just lost so much motivation to play. I felt like the season at that point was kind of ruined. Because like the effects were lasting, right? Like the you can never reach top queen at that point unless you played during the construction boom a bunch because the top queens took advantage of it, right? Of course. So it just felt like the whole season at that point like was pointless to play in. So I start like if TFT didn't come out, I certainly would have been playing Underlords, 100%.
I mean, I played Underlords because it was just new. Like
Right.
I didn't really care about the boom. I just wanted to try out Underlords and give it like at least like 30 hours, like a lot, and just like maybe go over the visual. Maybe it's actually still good, but I mean, it's not like I dislike Underlords that much, but it's also not like I'm very attracted.
I mean, I think their
It's a
their
weird thing.
pieces are in place. They just have to tweak a lot of stuff, and the game will be good. But it's just like it's still right now. It's so stale for me personally, at least.
You mean the meta, like the balance?
No, like just like it feels like a stale game. Like the meta is like shifting because it's like hunters are OP, and now it's like mages are OP, knights are unplayable. Like that stuff is like changing constantly. But like it doesn't feel like the game is fresh at all. So when something like TFT comes out, obviously everyone's gonna be like, "Oh man, this game's so like it's like the new thing." You know, it's fun,
Yeah.
it's different enough where you have to relearn stuff. So like you're all in the mode of like rapidly acquiring knowledge, rapidly honing your skills. And whereas it felt like you already had the skills to play Underlords, but like it was just a slightly worse version of deck, so that felt kind of boring, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's just a worse version of DIC,
Yep.
and like not just visuals but also balance. And what to me is a really bad sign for Underlords is that pretty much anything Valve touched or like redesigned, it like went to shit. Or like anything new they introduced was like pretty poor in my opinion. Like notable like
I like
things
one
are
thing.
like
Don't you
the
like
elves,
Dota 2?
you know, the druids.
No. He means that what they changed between auto chess and
Oh.
Underlords.
Yeah, what
He
they
said all
changed,
the
and then they
changes were the
ported
issues.
over
Oh,
stuff
okay.
like
Sure,
when they
sure.
ported over stuff like Knight Synergy, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
they
sure.
just completely ruined it. Like they changed it and it's stupid now.
Yeah.
And like they ported over Druid Synergy but changed it and it's
Oh,
bad
God.
now.
Yeah.
And like
Druid
and now they
Synergy.
like they put in Pudge in the game. And Pudge like obviously is a fucking 2 cost. It has 1,000 health. Is a warrior. Is undead. Has a 2 stars 2,500 health for whatever fucking reason. And a 3 stars 5.5k health because you can't just multiply it by 2 for some reason. Like every other unit in the game. And like and that just like Hunter passive was obviously just completely broken at the start. I don't know why they just can't keep that the same. Like also the item system is notably worse. Like I hate the item system in Underlords. Some people say they really love it, but I think it's really unsatisfying. I hate the class items in Underlords. It feels like it's either pigeonholing me into a certain comp or like my comp is gonna rely on it and then suck if I don't get it later on in the game, which I really don't like. And then especially like later on as well, when you get items like Radiance and +1 unit cap coming into the equation, it just feels really unfair when you get like a like
Synergy
a
items.
BKB and like a bunch of tier 3 items and some dude picks up a fucking +1 expanded roster or like a Radiance and you just feel like you lose the game on that. It's like that doesn't feel nearly as unfair as it did in DAC when someone could pick up a Hyperstone and maybe get a good item, but it's like she still didn't really feel that cheated. I think. I don't know what you guys think.
I like the idea of the change of the item system. We went over this last week a little bit. We touched on it, where I thought that the idea was really cool to give an item after every round, but the way they actually ended up going about it was just so stupid. like the class items are super bad. Like that's just not a good idea because it actually takes away decisions you're making, right?
Exactly.
Because if you're playing the class, you take the item. If you're not, you can't take the item. That's not a decision. And the less decisions that you're making meaningfully in a game, the less skill intensive it is. So that's bad for the game. Like I think it's just like pretty objectively bad. But I think like the idea of getting an item every round is good. But I think that it should be like getting an item every round and still offering combinable items would have been super cool.
Yeah.
But then then you have to take away like the one item slot max and stuff like that. I don't know. There were some good ideas mixed in there. Execution very poor in my opinion.
Yeah.
Real quick, because I have these 8 names on the screen and nobody has any idea what they are. These are the 8 people that moved on to the finals in the tournament. It was a 16-person tournament. These are 8 people that moved on. The top 5 here got money. So the 8 are Noogle, Enclaves, Big Boy. Skip over that one. Definitely not Orin. DPM Licious, Merlin, and Sleet. And so Noogle until definitely not Orin. I'm just calling him Orin. All got money. So congrats to them. And then there was also 2 other people, I think, that were in this call, that were in this tournament, but they're not on the top 8. I'm not sure why they're not. Must be a mistake somewhere.
I couldn't play. I had to
Yeah. Tabzz
I
was
can
doing the same
describe
thing.
the way you played as I couldn't play. Sure.
Don't worry.
yeah, exactly.
Don't worry. The reason I'm not in the tournament is because I did so bad in the last week. I didn't go in the next one, so I can't really talk.
Jesus Christ. I don't think that's what happened. It was due to crowded space. All right, man. There was too many players.
Yeah, we clearly
Everyone
saw that.
get in on
We
the-
clearly saw
I
that.
came back from vacation. I'm sorry.
The Pheylop over nature.
So yeah. Yeah. So that tournament was last Sunday, and congrats to Noogle. And
I mean,
on
the
place we
meta
played
was better. It was better than the first tournament. Mages were still the strongest, but I felt like the meta was a bit better.
I mean, it's definitely better than Hunters.
I mean, I looked at the VODs. I didn't play myself. I looked at the VODs, and it was better. So, yeah.
Wow.
I mean, guys, I think that only mages are really even playable. Okay, you had some warriors and like
warriors
Maga in there, but that's about it. Like, honestly, there was 5-6 mage players every single round we played, in every single lobby almost. I mean, I don't really think that's a very diversified meta, right?
I
This is the
think it
same
was
as
a
the first
bit better
tournament.
than last week. I don't know. In our lobbies, there were actually only 2 mages, which was me and Pheylop, and we both the first game got like 7 and 6. So yeah.
Man.
And then I started playing between 4 and 6 beats every game.
Yeah, exactly. So our lobby was actually not that mage intensive. Maybe your lobby was, because
Yeah,
But-
our lobby was like mages. Everyone mages all the time,
Okay.
basically.
yeah, I was 3-time mages, but for some reason I didn't make it through. I don't know, dude. But I mean, I wasn't. We'll not talk about it.
I tried
Yeah.
Hunters the first game and it was absolutely awful. Like, positively terrible. I don't know.
Oh,
Like,
yeah?
they didn't feel good at all.
Really?
They got shit on by
Interesting.
mages so hard, yeah.
Well,
Even
yeah,
by
against
warriors.
mages. That's like kind of classic, right? Is that Hunters lose to
By
mages?
warriors too, though. Like, you just didn't deal any damage to the warriors with the Hunters.
I think the warriors can beat the mages, right? With that warrior synergy item. Like I think that warriors have
Maybe
a
like
good
2 of
chance
them. You need like 2 unstoppables. Probably.
Yeah, like 2, but at least 1, right? Otherwise you just die.
I mean,
If you
you
have-
know, after playing DAC, you know how fucking miserable it is? Like I make like 5 Veno wards and just watch a Coddle Blast kill them all. I'm like, this is bullshit. Fuck this game.
No,
like,
no.
why would you change that?
You're on someone else's board and you make 10 Venom wards, then you deal 2 damage to him. That's what feels bad.
That's
Yeah,
good.
Open Fort is so broken in Underlords because you just
Yeah.
don't take any damage before round 10. Like, legit, you take
yep.
like 2 or 3 damage every fucking round. You can, like, in DAC, if you Open Fort, you expect to be like 65 HP around 10 or like maybe even lower. But like, when you do it in Underlords, you have like 75 or 80, you know? Like, you actually have a lot of health left still to play with, I think.
Did they fix the
Yeah.
losing item?
I don't think so. I
It
think
still gives 2
2
gold? That item is
Yeah,
so
I think-
stupid.
Really?
Dude,
Yeah.
Nagol here had went hard lose streak every game and had the gold item 3 of the games.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's what happened.
I didn't
Alright.
find it a single time, actually. And the
Me
funny
too.
thing is, you can find that in the first 3 rounds.
Yeah,
So, like, even if you have 2 stars or something, you're still better off just selling everything and literally
Yep.
just open for
yep.
things.
Every time I've
That's
gotten
my
it.
mistake, dude. I had the gold item and I had 2 stars. I was like, I can't.
Oh
sell
no, yeah, I
these.
sell.
I should have just fucking sold
Yeah.
them, man.
It got debated, dude.
Dude, every time I've gotten the gold item, and then I open forward, because every time I've done it, I've opened forwarded. I get to level 8 on round 14 with 50 gold still. Every time. Consistently. Level 8, round 14, 50 gold. Like, what do I even do with all this money at this point?
That's not very balanced.
No.
So I think I know what happens if you draw in that game. Both open fort, like if you draw, you don't break your lose streak, but you don't gain the extra
Yeah.
gold during that draw. So you actually can just open fort always without any risk of losing it, which is like. Well, right, like in queen lobbies, if there were 1 open forter, you gotta have to think twice before you open fort yourself as well, right? Like it's a
You'd
huge
be forced
risk
into it
to
at that
open
point,
fort.
yeah.
Right, it's a big risk. Now it's like, yeah, like whatever, dude. I won't get gold for 1 round. Like who cares? Like I'll take that risk. My opener is so bad, or like I have that item, so
Yeah, I feel like there's not many decisions in Underlords where I feel like a massive relief or a massive crushing defeat. Like when I like go open for it in deck and I bump into the other open for it guy on round 9, I just want to fucking quit the game.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
it's just so miserable. And there's like nothing like that in Underlords. I'm just kind of like, oh, whatever. Yeah, whatever. Every round's
And
just
that's
whatever.
good. That's what you want, right? You want to have that risk at least with it, that extra risk.
I mean, that even makes it more
Just-
fun to watch, right? So
Yeah, you can watch me baby rage when it happens to me. Like, it's really fun. I'm gonna miss it though, Pepe Hands.
We doubled the amount of people in this call that get angry on stream. Doubled it with this special guest.
What? What
does Tabzz
devil?
get angry? Tabzz doesn't
Nah.
get angry, does he?
He
Nah.
I
can.
baby rage sometimes,
Yeah,
but
yeah. Not quite Rens.
I
Not
mean,
Rens.
I don't think I'm a Rens tier baby rage streamer, but I mean, sometimes
We're probably
It's
like 1.35 or something, baby ragers.
when like a lot of really unfair tilting shit happens to me like in a row, like it's like a bucket, you know. Like in the beginning, I'm like whatever, you know, it happens. And the second time, I'm like oh, okay, that's kind of annoying, but whatever. And the third time, I'm like okay, can this please stop happening? And the fourth time, I'm just like, you know, fuck this game. I want to quit the game. I'm just gonna go Alta 4. Like I don't want to ever play this game again. You know, like it's just. And then like five seconds later, I'm like, okay, you know, that out of my system, I can reset the bucket back to 0. You know, like it's like okay, you know, it's just the game.
It's got to empty the bucket. You know?
Yeah, you know, sometimes you gotta empty the bucket all over your viewers and just fucking baby rage. And it's like, and then you know, some like to see it, some hate it, but it's just how
Yeah.
it is.
I did it way more earlier. I do it less, but it's really
It's- I-
frustrating.
I
but the
enjoy it,
variance
Rens.
is so high, man. Variance is so
Oh, yeah,
high. You
yeah,
have to get like I'm used to it, but like it's still like when you say it happens over and over again, it is annoying. It is really annoying. Can't get a break, dude.
Well, in TFT, like I like when in the final 3 happens and like one guy goes against the ghost, which is bugged by the way. The ghosts are bugged and like they lose some kind of synergy.
Still bugged.
Yeah, and then
Yeah,
like,
they don't get any synergies at
Yeah,
all. I
yeah.
think.
Oh
Like-
my fuck.
so like.
Like it's like the old DIC bug where the defend like you when you're defending you don't the enemy doesn't
Oh
see
yeah,
it.
that was like that. I remember
It's-
that
it's
was
the same-
insane. Yeah.
Yeah, that was ridiculous that time.
But I keep having final 3s where like we have the exact same matchups like 4 or 5 times in a row because they don't have the auto chess system, you know?
Yeah, you're just
Yeah.
chilling there, and these other two dudes are fighting to the death in a fucking Roman arena. Like, and you're just chilling there fighting the Phantom, which like is like super useless, and you just win every time. And you
Yeah.
just get free time to like it's like a creep round. You just get free
Yeah.
time to expand your fucking roster and just get stronger.
Dude, I mean, like, one of the times I died like 40 gold recently, which is pretty common, it was just like, I had just taken 25 damage from Nature, and I was just like, it's alright, viewers. As long as we don't play Nature again, and then immediately get paired against Nature again, I'm like,
Hell yeah.
and
They
I
don't
was
have a
like,
system in place to like avoid fighting two players consecutively. I think it happens to me often that I just fight the same guy twice in a row,
Yeah.
like even without anyone dying, right? Like it just like I fight the same guy 2 times, and I'm like, why? Like why does that even happen?
That's really. But maybe we should switch to TFT now, because
Yeah.
we're kind of done with the tournament anyway.
All right, let's talk about something that everyone else is struggling with. But well, I think all of us struggled with it to some extent. Maybe not Tabzz. I think Tabzz has a priority account. But the queue times it came out on PBE. TFT did Teamfight Tactics, and everyone wanted to play, like everyone. And the PBE is a small server. It's not their main server, and so everyone logs on, and it ended up being that people would have like day-long queues to get into the game. Like this is like some program some people would use and would check how big the queue is. That's 500,000 people waiting in queue. Like,
Did you guys ever play League of Legends? Like a lot?
I did.
I have like 50k games played.
I did
Okay,
for 3
so
years.
okay, I guess you guys were NA though, but Rens is EU. He never plays. I guess I'm the only one that has experience with this. But like when you played League of Legends on the EU server in season 1, you had the exact same thing. Like I would wake up, and I would start the queue, and I would go to school because I was in high school. Then 8 hours later, I get home, and I still have like 20 minutes left on my EOS queue. It's like legit 8 hours queue time to get into the giant EOS server. And that was like back in season 1 in League of Legends. And it's like super huge, right?
Yeah. Wow.
And so this kind of reminded me of that. But yeah, like Riot, not the best at expanding its server capacities or meeting the demands of their player base at some points. You know, like I don't know if they expected this many people to want to play it. Probably not, because they kind of probably base it on the auto chess community and not like the league community, where I think, you know, the TFT community is not at all the auto chess community. so many of the
Yeah.
players that come in are just League of Legends players,
Right.
and it's their first experience with any auto chess game, and they're just playing it because all their favorite streamers are playing it and streaming it, and they're like, oh, I want to play this too. And like, it's so many League of Legends people. I barely see any auto chess people. And this is also reflected in the viewer count. If you see people who used to stream DAC and they now stream TFT, like their viewer counts have halved, you know, or like even worse sometimes. Like mine, I mean, I was usually averaging maybe 800 to 1,000, and now I average like maybe 300 to 500, you know, on my streams, and it's just like on TFT. And it's because a lot of like League players is not the same. Like TFT players is not the same as DAC players, and it doesn't really carry over very well.
Yeah. There's some that have, some that have some have transferred well. Usually people that were like really big, like Rekful and Hafu have both like sustained like high viewer counts. But yeah, a lot of people have, but not a lot.
It doesn't really make sense though. But it's like it doesn't really matter what the hell Rekful's playing. He's gonna have like around
That's
the same
true.
viewer.
That's true. And
You know?
Hafu also transferred
And
Justin
Hafu
Hearthstone.
too.
So yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They have a good player.
Like the good thing about Hafu is that like she's basically just good at like every game that she's a play. So like that's good that she's like at the front of it. Like Rekful is more of like an entertainment streamer, I would say, and like he's just always gonna have his core like base follow him no matter what he's playing.
Hey, Rekful was
like
a beast and WoW.
Yeah,
He was really good, yeah.
yeah. But like you know, when I was like watching him play auto chess and stuff, I remember he kicked me out of one of his lobbies because he was like, "No Smurfs allowed." And I was like, "Okay, fine."
Stop
But,
stream sniping him, dude.
It was a lobby on QAHL. What do you want, dude?
Nah, you waited
No, but,
until you made it, man.
This current queue position, I think there was like 2 days I want to play on PB. I got stuck in a queue, and I couldn't get out of the queue, so I had to close my client. And
What?
like it just like every time I hit the X to get out of queue, it's like you're being in queue for 30. Like I got out of the game and instead I was still in a queue for 34 minutes.
Oh
And I
yeah,
couldn't
that
get
was
out of the
affordable
queue.
actually.
So I was like, guess I have to close my client. And it took me 20 hours to get back in.
Was that the
Oof.
first day?
No, it wasn't. I think it was like.
Was it the first day where you wanted to change your name so you logged out?
Oh no, that was the first. Yeah, that was not a very smart.
Oh my god.
And then you had to wait a few hours?
Yeah, I had to wait like what was it like only like 6 or 7 hours that time I think.
Yeah. Only
But
6
no, I
hours.
waited 16 hours, and then that queue thing was like 20 hours.
Yeah, last week
So-
Rens, Pheylop, and I were all gonna play some TFT. We all get on. We're like, all right, let's just queue up, and then suddenly Pheylop goes offline. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I changed my name. I had to close the client. And like, you're not getting back in. He's like, oh what? So that was.
This is before I knew about like how long I would actually have to wait. I was like, oh yeah, I'll see you guys in like 30 minutes. I'm like, oh my god,
Nope.
this is like an actual issue. Holy shit, you know, I did not expect that. Spoiled by North American servers in League, never a problem. So,
Okay.
but you know, it goes open tonight for us, right, Nature, and like for everyone else is tomorrow.
It's in the morning, right? Or is it like really early
Well,
morning?
AM,
It's
it's
like
AM.
night. Okay. But
Yeah, I
yeah,
imagine maybe 3 or 4 a.m. It'll go down.
Maybe,
and
yeah.
it'll be up.
yeah. I plan if they don't say that they're gonna release MMRs the first 2 weeks though, I plan on playing ranked on PBE. Like it just feels more fun to have a rank, and I feel like they're gonna get constant updates anyway. Like and that'll be fun to mess with the updates every day. I don't know, but anyway.
You know, when there's a rank, I don't feel so bad about you playing good comps. But when I'm playing like unranked games with viewers and then playing Aurelion Sol every game, it just kind of feels like you're bullying. You know, it's like you're inviting
Speaking
your
of.
viewers, and then you're just bullying them with an Aurelion Sol comp. You know, it's like.
I mean, yeah,
And
it's
then-
like when you play viewer games in like DAC, it's not like you're go the meta build every single game, right? It's not happening.
Yeah.
You play
Yeah.
Terrorblade.
Yeah.
Oh, look at those OP boys on the screen.
Yeah, this is really high quality artwork we've done here. Yeah, no. So it's like I'll talk a little bit about the last week of meta in TFT because we started out and everyone recognized instantly like, what the hell, Draven is so broken, and they nerfed that, and then right after that, like, oh my god, Wild Swords with Aurelion Sol, what is this comp? It's so good. So what is your guys' experiences with the meta over the last few weeks and now, currently, more importantly, what's the meta like now for you?
I guess I'll start. So, like, at the start, obviously, Draven was just completely broken. He was critting for like 1.5k or something at 2 stars without really any items. Because I think his ability multiplied his damage by like 2.5 or something, like on his auto, and it crit. So, like, he just auto attacked for like 1,000 damage for free every time. He would just kill the entire enemy team with the Imperial buff, because that also doubled the damage. So, like, yeah, this ridiculous, like, carry. So, yeah, well, they nerfed that, and then, like, okay, Aurelion Sol, they buffed it for some reason. It was already good, but it just lost to
I was
Draven,
like,
right? So like nobody played it because what's the point of playing Aurelion Sol when you're gonna lose to Draven anyways? Like, so then they buffed it for some reason because I guess they wanted to like, oh yeah, let's make sorcerers better because people aren't playing them or something. Maybe that's on that.
People hadn't figured it out
But
yet.
then-
I guess I don't know. Like it was so weird they buffed it. Like they must have had weird data for it. I don't know.
Yeah, it was already strong. I think I was playing sorcerer builds with Azul, and it was just murdering people already. I mean, sometimes you still lost, but it was like still really good. So then they buffed that, and then like Aurelion Sol became the meta, and he was just unbeatable literally because he would just fire a 1k blast to your entire team every 2 seconds, and it was literally unbeatable. Any comp, like I literally tried every single comp in the game. I think, like I played a bunch of Aurelion Sol, won every game, and I was like, let's find the build that can beat this, and I was unsuccessful. I like tried every single combination of units in the game with any combination of items in the game, and you could not beat this comp no matter what you tried. Like I just at some point I was like, all right, I'll just get second. This is a good build. It got second. Like that's basically first place because the other guy's playing Aurelion Sol. And okay, so moving on to the current patch, I think still Aurelion Sol is really strong. I think still Wild Sorcerer is still really strong. I mean, it's a bit worse now. Aurelion Sol needs 25 more mana to cast the spell. She needs 2 more auto attacks to cast the spell the first time. It's like 2 seconds. The damage nerf doesn't really matter because they're running Morelos anyway, so our enemy team. But yeah, it's a little worse, and the wilds are a little worse. Like they got nerfed. Also, rapid fire cannon is currently bugged on Italy, which makes the build also worse. So it doesn't actually give Nilly any extra range at the moment. So that really sucks. I think Ninja's Assassins is probably the best build in the game now. Like 6 assassins, 4 ninjas, and then you make cannon and assassin with a ghost blade. And if you play that build, like it also feels like really, really unbeatable. Like sometimes you kind of lose the glacial RNG or whatever, but most of the times like you just win like really, really hard because you just one shot everything. Other than that, I don't really know what the good comps are. I always thought archers are bad.
Really?
Some people really disagree with me on that.
Yeah.
I always thought they were like one of the worst sinners in the game.
Wait, what?
think-
Rangers, you mean?
Rangers. So
Oh,
like
yeah.
Glacial-
Vayne,
Glacial
Kindred,
Ranger.
Dude,
and
Glacial Rangers
Ash
is
and
so
stuff.
good. I think really interesting.
Like I thought it was really bad. Even last patch, like I was playing stuff like Kindred with triple Zeeks and a fully stacked Ash or whatever, or a 3-star Vayne, and I would still lose. I would maybe get top 4, but I would always lose to every Aurelion Sol. So it's like I didn't really see a
Well, I
point
mean,
to play it.
That's
It
not
just didn't
saying
feel
much.
that strong, and it was really hard to build. It built at very low damage. Well, moving on from that, I think gunslingers now are pretty okay actually.
Yeah.
I like them a lot.
Tristana feels really nice.
Yep.
Tristana after the buff actually feels like a really solid unit now.
What did they buff?
They buffed
They
every
buffed her
single
damage and
gunslinger,
attack speed, I
except
think.
Graves.
And
Oh.
her ult damage too.
Maybe we should
Yeah.
pick her up.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, but
I'm
I mean,
yeah.
like, oh god.
I'm liking
Like, I
gunslingers
was
a lot.
playing-
Oh wait, I thought you were talking to me. Go
Wait,
ahead. You go ahead.
Okay.
Go.
Okay, I'll go ahead. Okay, so anyways, I was playing some Yordles now because Tristana got buffed, and everyone's playing
Nice.
Assassin. So I'm like, we smart boys. We built Tristana 3, and then we built a Phantom Dancer on Tristana, and then she's fucking unkillable against Assassin. It's 1v9s. And then she took a Akali Q crit to the face and still died.
Mhm.
But like, it's actually a really fun build. Honestly, I would really recommend trying Yordles. It's actually kind of fun. It's a nice build.
Okay, so a couple things. With assassins, I prefer running void ninjas, which I mean, okay. So the thing is, I want my build to be at least like completely functionable at level 7, which you kind of do by making if you can make your cannon an assassin, right?
Yeah.
I feel like if I don't get a spatula, that could be an issue. You have to go level 8 at that point. I really like just going for 4 ninjas, 3 void, which is 3 assassins with Kha'Zix, Akali, Zed, and then stacking up Zed and Akali as much as I can. It feels really, really good. I don't know. I feel like I like void more than most people though. But I like, especially with the Cho'Gath buffs, Void feels real good to me.
Why did Cho'Gath need to buff?
I don't know.
He's so sick, dude. He's so good.
They decided
That's
his
dumb.
ability should just hit the entire fucking arena now. For
Dude,
some reason.
like everyone's grouped up, so it hits like literally everyone.
Yeah. Yeah.
People don't position at all, so it hits stuns everyone. That's so funny.
Well, positioning
Talking
around it
about
feels
positioning,
terrible.
Yeah, like how do you position in this game? Do you guys think there's any like secret people are doing wrong? I mean, obviously as
No.
assassins, some people are just clutching up, but you know, like I feel like in general
I
the
don't
depth of positioning is kind of low unless you have specific items like Zephyr or you're playing against assassins. I feel like positioning is kind of.
I mean, I hope-
irrelevant, maybe.
I hope they're gonna improve it. Like in the beginning in DAC, positioning was also like no one cared, right? Everyone was like, "I'll just put this in front, put this in the back, and then just let the fight happen." But
Yeah,
after
just putting
after a
it
while,
front, pretty much.
we found how much positioning actually matters, like a lot. And hopefully in this game it will happen as well. But for now, it doesn't feel like a lot. Yeah, I mean, there's like for me at least, I don't know all the spells yet, so I'm not super sure how I should position a lot of stuff. But I think there's still stuff you can do probably.
I mean,
Alright.
every single time I got hit, all my units get hit by a Cho ult. I'm like, I feel like there was something I could have done here. But then I'm like, it was the whole map. I don't know. Maybe, like, maybe not. It's kind of weird. But the more I've thought about it, the more that like people's arguments about there probably just needing to be an extra row in the center of hexagons,
For
Yeah.
sure.
probably true. I'm starting to agree with it. Where like it just gives you more options, and more options is generally good, and a more of a chance to display skill.
How often are you guys just putting your units in a corner and surrounding it with frontliners? Like how many game? Like what percentage of games would you guys say? Because for me, it's like 90%. Like it's like almost
Yeah,
always.
but
our
you know what? It's so intuitive because your courier is on the bottom left, and then you have this corner on the bottom left, and I feel like you just put your units there. I don't know. It's like it's so close. I don't know. It feels like it's
It-
Put
it
my
is
units on the
intuitive.
right,
So-
like a true rebel, dude. I always
yeah,
put my
you can
units
put
on the
everything
right.
on the right. Yeah, you
I
can
don't
do
know
it.
why. I
right.
did it in DAC too, and in DAC everyone puts all their units on the left too, for the
I
same
started
reason
that.
probably.
Because you read from left to
And
right.
like
right?
I always put it on the right, and people are like, why the fuck are you putting your units on the right? And I'm like, wait, I never even noticed. Like, what's wrong with it? So yeah, everyone just puts it on the left and in a corner, and that's basically the positioning in a nutshell.
The right
I
side.
usually judge depending on what other people are doing.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like I find that almost all the builds I build always want to be diagonal across, as
I've
opposed
had the same
to
thought
directly
actually.
across.
Unless I'm
So-
going like Aurelion Soul, pretty much. I feel like if I'm playing
Yeah.
Aurelion Soul, I don't. But right side's strictly better because of round 10, so you can focus on the Krug on the
Yeah,
Krug on the
for
right.
sure.
Strictly better, guys.
Yeah, yeah.
Always go on the right.
Yeah.
I didn't know the way Krug worked until like yesterday. Someone was like, "Yeah, you've never lost to Krugs?" I'm like, "No." They're like, they all heal, so if you like deal a bunch of damage to all of them and then kill one, it like fucks you up. I'm like, "Oh, I never even realized."
You never lost to
I
them.
lost the Krug so much today.
You
when
filthy high
when I
roller.
lose to Krugs, like I don't even kill one of them.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay,
Hmm.
okay.
You might
That's because you're
wanna
not on the
reroll.
right.
Nah. Oh yeah,
Wow,
I had the
level,
horrible,
level.
horrible North American habit of going to 50, and like it's just because no one's figured out the game, so I never feel like I'm like under that much pressure. And like so, like the way I play a game is just like I'll just pick up units that like kind of fit into my comp, and then be like I'm at 50 gold, so I kind of have a lot of time to figure out what I want to do, and sometimes I just die anyway. Like,
Yeah, you know that story you told of why I dealt like 25 damage to him and then killed him afterwards? Guess how much gold
Yeah.
he had? I was like,
I had 40, I think, only 40.
40? That's it? Okay. Yeah.
Only 40.
So
what
I
would
mean,
I say? I'd rather die rich than live poor.
Yeah.
I mean, the neutral is so important, right? The whole game countering other comps is about items, so
Yeah.
you definitely want to kill the neutral rounds like 100%.
I've been losing them a
It's
lot
I mean, they're
super
not
today.
even guaranteed items though.
No, but I mean,
Yeah.
you want a chance. I mean, come on, you roll for round 15 in DAC as well, right?
They
For
also
that, if you
deal
have a
3
quarter
each.
staff. Like,
Wait, do I do?
it's-
I don't do that.
You don't do it? Okay.
Not often. Not often.
Really?
I mean, you're gonna just lose 10 health to wolves and just feel good
Dude.
about your 1 extra gold or what?
yeah,
I mean-
exactly, dude. What the fuck?
Yeah, I guess like I just never like I don't hit round 15 that often with a comp that's like so bad where I'm like, I'm
It's
really
just a
gonna
high
lose
roller,
this.
man. It's just
I don't know.
Someone asked
Oh
Yeah, I
yeah,
rolled
no,
earlier.
I never
Oh.
need to reroll before wolves. I just
I mean-
free, dude. What the fuck are you coming?
Like sometimes I'll take like 4 damage, or like I mean there are definitely times I miscalculate. I'm like, oh, I'm so strong right now, and I get fucking like take 8 damage from wolves. I'm like, what the fuck happened here.
But there's always a gamble with wolves in DAC, right? Because sometimes your tank just Papegas out and then tanks like one wolf in the corner in the front or something. And then like all your units just die because your Mars jumped out like an idiot. And like, anyways, if we were talking about TFT, we can talk about like the rerolling and the experience curve and stuff like that. Because I think there's like definitely comments to be made about that if you want to talk about that.
Well, how awkward the level-up intervals are?
It's really awkward because like, okay, in DAC,
so bad.
You have the first 10 rounds, right? Like you have like 6-7 rounds before round 10, and in TFT you only have 3 rounds before the first carousel. And if you want to level up, you usually do that like second round or something. You don't really want to do the very first PvP round. And then you level from 4 to 6, which is like 2 XP. You're literally only one level ahead, like for one turn, literally, which doesn't really matter that much. And then like you also reduce your odds of getting 1 cost, which is another thing I want to talk about. Like the game, the probability to get 1 costs at level 4 is 55% per unit per roll. In DAC, this is 40% for level 5, I think, if I remember correctly.
That's why you see so many 3 stars in this game.
So, yeah, so the meta is really like everyone just saves their gold, never levels up, and then at Krugs, so like level round 10, whatever the golems, you know, they just fucking reroll like crazy and just try to get a bunch of 3 stars, and it's just a complete gamble. Like everyone is literally just playing slot machines at that round and just trying to hit all their 3 stars. Yeah. And it just feels like I don't really want that to be the type of skill expression in my game, you know, like I don't want this specific round to like determine everything, and I want to be able to eco up and make meaningful decisions later instead of dying to someone who got like 2-3 stars by that round and I just didn't get any. It's so frustrating, really. I don't know what you guys think.
I think a big part of the
I've definitely been playing a different game.
Yeah, you know, Pheylop. Okay, I mentioned the whole thing about like on stage 3-1 rolling to 0, and Pheylop was like, okay, Naturesbf, I'll try it, but like,
I mean, I don't do that either though, because I don't really like that strat either. Like, it's not something I don't think a lot of DSC, like, I feel like that's a strat when in DSC you would be a bad player doing that, right? Like a lot of newer people would do that.
Yes.
Like, I want to reroll, I want to spend my money instead of like sitting on your money early, like, and then leveling, and then like maybe spend your money on 7 or like depends on your comp, whatever. But now I feel like the bad play in DSC gets like really rewarded in this game. So maybe they just looked at like, well, what are new players doing in DSC? Why are they not succeeding? Oh, they're rolling a lot early. Let's make rolling early good.
But hold on. But
it feels like you're chopping off your hands though. I don't know.
There's an issue. What I think is an issue what you're saying, and that that's something that I see a lot of players do when they first start playing the game. But removing that as an option is lowering the skill level of the game, right? If there's games where that is the right play, that's awesome. But it shouldn't be always the right play. It shouldn't be like the meta. But if that is a time where it's like, okay, this game, if I reroll that much this turn, like that should absolutely be a thing that can happen, because that's a really high level, thing to notice, to be like, okay, this is the game where I should go all in on rerolling.
Sure. So we had like the Goblin strat, right? The Goblin reroll that worked until like more 1 costs were introduced. So the lack of 1 cost, like in this game, it's way lower, right, than DSC, and you have a higher chance of getting them. So I think they should nerf that a bit, right? I mean, I don't think you're gonna win the game often though with that reroll strat, but I feel like it's very good to get top 4.
It's weird because I feel like people should consider the reroll strat if they have like 5 of a unit or something, you know, and they need like 4 more.
Yeah, I do with like
but
1 2-star.
Like, I have 2 of a unit. I don't even like, or like I have like the 2-star. I'm just gonna go for it and just like roll like 30 gold. I'm just like, I can't do that, man. That's too fucking crazy for me.
Yeah, but you know how often it actually pays off for them?
Yeah, it's like always almost, man.
The success rate on the strategy is ridiculous. Like the amount of expected value of this play is way, way, way too high. Like Hafu apparently did it like every game, what my viewers told me. I'm not sure if this is true.
No, it's true. I watched.
But she like apparently did this strat like every game where she just rerolled down like round 10 and just went for 3 stars, and that's she's rank 1 MMR. So obviously that means something, you know, about the state of the game.
I mean, it's one of the reasons why I've publicly just been like, dude, I'm so bad at this game, and like there are things that people have to do that I just like feel so uncomfortable doing. Like I don't have the positive reinforcement. Yeah, they're like, all right, Pheylop, what you're do is spend all your money, have no income forever, and if you don't hit your 3 stars, you're probably just gonna die. So have fun. And I'm like, can you save my money and maybe stabilize from there? And like, no. I'm like, I'm gonna do it anyway.
I think with losing streaks, I think that's the way to losing streak. Like, is to do the reroll thing. I think that is the way to losing streak. I think losing streak and going for levels like you do in DAC feels really bad. It's been like unsuccessful almost every time for me.
Yeah.
But rerolling heavily with losing streak, and you can maybe get your spot back by getting a spatulas because you're lose streaking, right? You have carousel first pick. That actually seems to work decently well. I did it a lot recently, but I don't like the way we losing streak in DAC feels terrible still to me, which is get higher levels. That way you can get offered your key units and build a comp around those key units. That's the way an open fort works pretty much in DAC. It doesn't seem to work like that way in this. It seems like you just get 3 stars. But
I think it's also because you just can't open fort for long enough or losing for long enough because the damage in the game is just so ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like you get to 40 gold, okay, at that golem round, but then you're already like 50, 60 health. You can't really even afford losing anymore.
You take
and you're
9
not even
from
at 50
golems.
gold yet. You're not even at 50 gold yet, man. Like you need to.
Yeah. And not
you
even
need
plus
to
2.
just reroll. Yeah, you're like at the plus. You're at maybe +1 or +2 losing streak.
Yeah,
and
barely
you have
maybe.
40 gold, and you have like your half HP. At some point, you just gotta start spending your money to stop losing, and the game pace in the early game just feels too fast for that reason.
I mean, it just definitely feels like you're never intentionally losing in this game. Like you never have to be like, I'm gonna play a weaker comp than I could.
I did.
Like,
I mean,
you
did.
do that in the first 3 rounds, or like
until the first carousel. But like after that, like it doesn't really like. I'm taking a little bit too much damage. I guess if I win, I win.
Yes,
that's what
there's a lot of that. Like, I hope I don't win, but I'm definitely not scouting because I can't take that much damage. So I don't even care to scout at this point. Like
it's basically you're looking for the first excuse you can to start rolling, and it's like, well, if I win a round, then I'll do it. I'll change gears. But then like you end up in like a really awkward phase sometimes where like, well, if like 2 people die, then like the way the damage scales, I'll just lose in like 1 turn. And it's just really weird.
I think the way the game is designed, just buying experience is just awful most of the time. Like until later on to get like level 7.
Have you looked at like the math? Like in DAC, you buy 4 rounds for 5 gold. You buy 4 rounds worth of experience. In this game, for 4 gold, you buy 2 rounds. It's literally half. It's a little better than half, but yeah, it's really bad in this game.
It's not worth at all. Like it's only worth for like win streak, right? Level. Like I don't know. Like cause
I think it's worth leveling to get forecast odds and stuff, but not really.
Not early on,
Many
right?
other
We're talking
reasons.
early on. Yeah.
Yeah.
I keep seeing people at first place, like at the end, like at the end of the game, like first place level 6 with like a force of nature, or maybe not even a force of nature, just like with some other synergy item. They just like level 6 good enough, like.
I think there's just not really that many meaningful decisions to be made in TFT regarding experience. I think in the early game in DAC, you're always like, oh, at round 5, am I gonna level up or not? At round 9, am I gonna level up or not? Go for interest. Like these are really, really meaningful and important decisions.
They're like the most important decisions in the game, I feel like.
Yeah, and you just don't make any of those decisions in TFT. You just don't buy any experience to the golems. Even if you're win streaking, most of the time, you just don't buy any experience, like ever.
Yeah,
like
it's like if you're winning, you're like, I want better odds at hitting my level 3s, and if you're losing, you're like, well, I'm saving money.
Yeah.
So like, there's no pathway to where like leveling up is actually good.
I sometimes will if I'm lose streaking with wilds. That's like the one scenario where when a win streaking with wilds, because then I do want to find like Gnar and Aurelian Soul so much, like just even the 1-star of them, that I will be like leveling quite heavily. But outside of that, I just haven't been recently, like thinking about it.
Does it depend on how many like Nidalees you have already, or how many like?
Yeah, it does. I think.
Yeah,
Because when you have like
Nidalee 3 is really
golems, you have like 3 Nidalees, and you have like only 30 gold left or something. You're like, you don't want to reroll down to 0 and never ever be able to get level 7 again to get your soul and Gnar.
If I had like
you don't
5,
really want
I would.
to play the comp around Nidalee 3 anymore because Nidalee 3, well, it does give you a really good mid game. It's also been nerfed, and like the rapid fire cannon doesn't work anymore.
Yeah.
Like at all on her, so it's just like a lot weaker.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, we have to expect
your
it to work.
Shyvana.
I think if you have 5 or 6 Nidalees, you should definitely reroll and try to get a 3-star every time. But it's kind of the same for any 1 cost, really. I think if you have like 4 to 6 of any 1 cost in that game, and you want to build a comp around that 1 cost, so it's not like a Kha'Zix or something where you don't really want to build your comp around it. It's like, then you probably just want to roll for a 3-star. It's like almost always the best EV play, I think.
Okay, I want everyone to say what they think the best comp in the game is right now. I'm curious.
Sure.
Go for it, Rens.
Right
You
now?
go. You said sure. Go.
Okay. Oh yeah, sure. I mean, what Tabzz said, dude, like 4 ninja success,
Yeah, you like
100%
that?
the best.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really.
Yeah, I
The
think the
thing
same.
is, I already played Assassins like a few days ago, like only forced them, and it was really good because like all the assassins are not used by any other comp almost, so they're all open, right? Like the wild thing is gonna get used, but it's gonna be replaced often by Gnar, so it's back in the pool. Like all the other assassins are not very useful, and like ninjas, like ninja comps don't exist, only with assassins. So I felt like they were super easy to pick up, like really easy to 3-star, and yeah. So I feel like it's a very good comp. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's the strongest for sure.
But as people, if the comp gets popular and is strongest, and people start contending over it, it kind of changes it, right?
Dude, it's already happening, dude. Tabzz streams his games. He wins with 6 assassins for ninjas. It's gonna be meta. That's just how it is.
Pheylop, what are you?
I haven't played that much on this patch, but like, what used to be really terrible was gunslingers, and now I really enjoy gunslingers, especially gunslingers with glacial, and then I get
Yes.
glacial and Tristana with
Yes, I
the
did that
frozen
today,
mallet.
yeah.
You do
I
that
think-
with like a rapid fire cannon and a Titanic Hydra, and it is super sweet.
I mean, is that the best comp? Like, is this?
No, I don't think it's the best comp. I really
I think
haven't
it's A
seen
tier.
enough of the.
I honestly think it's A tier.
Like, I haven't seen enough of the. I don't know. Like, I believe you. I think assassins are super good right now, but I haven't played the ninja assassin build. But like, I think assassins are really good right now. I don't know what I think the best comp is right now. Like, Wild
Just give your
Sorcerer still
opinion.
seems very solid. I don't feel like I've seen a lot to give my opinion. Not like where I'm like, I definitely think this. I would say that like the top of the line is still like, I think Wild Sorcerers are still really good, and I think something involving assassins is like those are two best things. And then right after that is like Gunslingers is now like there instead of being unplayable.
All right.
I think like a 6 Knight situation is still terrible, or like
Yes,
anything.
yes.
That's,
That's always awful. I feel like.
Yes. Yes.
but that's just like you don't have to think about that. And Nobles is like mediocre at best.
I mean, those you hit it can be
Good
sick, but
kill.
it's also like if you're against magic damage, that sucks. But I'm gonna go completely against what Tab said earlier. I think Glacial Rangers are like really dope. I really think they're good. I think that I think that I have them as my number 1. I think I would put Assassins at number 2. I still prefer the 3 Void for Ninja, just because I want my stuff to be like fully online level 7 without a spatula.
Would you then go to the transition to 6 assassins if you get the item, and drop void or not?
I could. I could, but
Are you not looking for it, or?
yeah, I'm usually not going for it. I'm usually just going for actually more units. Usually with assassins, I usually pick like I'm looking for Zeds and Akali's a lot of the time and Cho'Gaths from the carousel, and then obviously damage items to an extent to buff up Akali. Akali is like so good with some AP items, and then I want Z3. Like Z3 is my unit in that comp. I just want Z3 always.
So good. Holy moly.
Is losing ninja bonus not a big deal?
It's
Ninja's huge. It's for ninjas 80% attack damage, dude.
So okay,
Yeah,
so
so Imperial buff, but you don't need a 5 cost.
so do you just keep like Zed on your bench while you're like building the rest of your like your stuff, or like when you play Akali, when you play Zed, like stuff like that?
You asking me?
Yeah.
Well, so I usually I'll run the 2-star Zed, and then when I'm level 7, I'll put everything in. Like I'll just almost always put everything in on level 7, even at like 1 stars. Like
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Also, with Glacial Rangers, do you find yourself building Runeon's Hurricane ever, or not really?
no, I haven't been.
It does not proc glacial.
There's no on hits, yeah. It's
Oh,
good on
really?
hits.
There's no on hits on Rens. It's just little tickling bolts.
Yeah.
So basically, you never build Runeons.
Nope.
Yeah.
I like don't ever. The item I've been spamming is the Titanic Hydra and Gunslingers. It's sick. Also, the Hush weapon, the Silence weapon on Lucian is sick in Gunslingers. Okay, it's actually sick.
What is it like? Perma-silence something?
Yes,
Basically?
it's like no, it's silencing like everything. Like it's so good.
Oh yeah, you just have a chance to like silence
I
it.
think those items are only good on the gunslingers. Like
Yes,
the silence
yes, exactly.
But they are pretty damn good on them.
Do you
Is the
build the
disarm
disarm
not
one?
better?
What?
Yeah, the disarm.
Disarm?
The disarm sounds better, or not?
I don't know, man. Like there's a lot of really strong abilities that I've been like silencing their Cho'Gath and Sejuani and Volibear, like all that stuff.
Okay.
Well, why not just build both? Just build both
Yeah,
of
yeah,
Lucian,
you
man. It'd be
could.
great.
Oh,
Fun
that sounds cool.
Does the Lucian like dash actually apply on hits? Do you know that? Does it apply the silence or something?
Yes, everything around my Lucian was silenced. Like like Lucian would dash and like everything around him would be silenced.
Well, it's just auto attacks, right? So
yeah,
it definitely works.
Well, he's asking on gunslinger hits is what he's asking. So I have to imagine that's what's happening because like it was just like they were silencing their whole front line and it was amazing.
Do we have any odds on like how many those proc? Because Riot is so vague about it. Like,
we don't.
High chance to silence or low chance to silence, and it's like, dude, just give a fucking percentage, man. Like, what is?
It's like high chance to silence. Is it like 25? Is 25 a high chance? Is 50 a high chance? Is 75%? I feel like if I look at it like Pheylop, it's actually 51%. That is a high chance to silence. I'm like, thanks. Just fucking tell me that next time. You know, like I don't know. It's weird.
I don't get it, man. It's so stupid. It's like in League of Legends when you don't turn on advanced tooltips, it doesn't actually say you advanced things like that. Like percentage on it's just like, oh, cast a spell dealing a lot of damage, you know? Like it's not actually doesn't give you any like numbers or something.
Hit them 3 times to deal bonus true damage. How much? I don't know.
I mean, some of them, yeah. Like some of them do, but actually, like you don't turn on advanced tooltips, it doesn't show you like advanced information. Like it's not even advanced. Like it's like basic information about the spell that you need to know to make informed decisions.
It won't give you like ratios or anything unless you turn on the advanced tooltips.
I'm not sure actually. I'm not exactly sure what it does or does not do, but you always want it on.
It was super nice.
But that's kind of reminded me of that because like, why would you do that? Like, what's the point of saying a high chance to silence?
I don't know.
The percentage there, man. Like, what's the point?
Yeah.
I've seen other games do the same thing. They make it casual gamer.
I mean, that's what I didn't like about TFT in the beginning. Like the newer player experience was awful for me because like, the pictures are not the models. Like I can't see the item combinations in game.
Yeah.
Like I can't see the list of heroes. You know, in the EAC, you click on like the list and you can see the synergies. Like there's nothing. Like I'm just reading in the beginning. Like, is this a glacial? Is this a ranger? Okay, guess I'll buy this. This is maybe good. They probably improved that, right? Because it's in beta, hopefully. But it was really bad in the beginning for me.
Yeah, they're adding like a DPS chart, which would be nice because currently it's like really hard to know how much DPS your units are actually doing. You just have to look at how much like you gotta look at like, okay, that auto attack did a lot of damage. Like that spell killed their whole team. Okay, good. Aurelion Soul's good. Like that kind of thing. But without the DPS charts are nice. You can't like go by them completely, but they're nice. Also,
I mean, we can talk about how Riot has had 10 years to work on a death recap, and they're fucking terrible at it.
Yeah, true. You guys ever played Heroes of the Storm? Heroes of the Storm had the best death recap ever. If you ever played it, oh my god, it was such a good death recap. I was so annoyed when I played that and was like, wait, why doesn't League have this?
Yeah, that game had some good things and some bad things. Yes. Their death recap was good.
Yes. DAC, by the way, a lot of the reason we know all this stuff about DAC, not actually because they put it in game. Like, go look to see what Night bonus does in DAC. You won't know. It's just because it's open source. Like, everyone just was able to figure out all the information because it was all open source. Unfortunately, there's no way League of Legends will ever be open source, but you know all the code's available for DAC, so that's why we got to know all that stuff. Hopefully they release it.
Better.
But no, it's just nice to like be able to make informed decisions. Like knowing probability for things makes it much easier to like make meaningful decisions versus just being like guessing. Like guessing just kind of sucks. Especially like when you're playing at a higher level, or you want to be playing at a high level, and like everything is just like 3 or 4%, or like 2% or whatever. You know, like you just want to edge wherever you can get it. So
yeah.
So, last thing to talk about. We talked about this. We did this last week with Underlords. I want to talk about the item system as a whole. Your guys' thoughts on it, what you guys like about it, what you guys don't like about it, about dropping items and creeps, about how they combine, about how many you can put on a unit, about how the item strengths themselves. I want to hear your guys' thoughts. Oh, and about Spatula, obviously. But hear your guys' thoughts on that as a whole. If anyone wants to go.
I will go first.
Oh yeah, okay, sure.
I think that having items drop and having it so that, like any 2 items combined in something is super cool. Like that system is really cool. Spatula is really interesting, and I like that. It changes like units in different types. That actually increases like the brewing capacity of the game by like a huge margin, right? And then like 2 spatulas making an extra slot is super powerful, but you're realistically just not getting 2 spatulas unless you're like bottom of the charts.
Dude, I did like 3 games in a row with you today. Come on.
Yeah, but like, hey, you were loose streaking, man. Like, if you're gonna do that, then fine. But that's also 2 items, which will not be an item later, which is how like those are like high picks, right? So when you take like the spatula, it's saying that you're not gonna have like a rage blade later. You're not gonna have a Shojin. You're not gonna have something like that. So I think like that's pretty cool. That being said, like they've been like tweaking the items a lot and like kind of rebalancing them constantly. And I think that's really good. And obviously, 1 week later, I still think the carousel is like the best fucking thing ever. So.
But do the spawn RNG, man.
If you, yeah.
That's,
what if
how is that
spawns
good,
on the
dude?
other
Okay.
side and then
Come
he
on,
gets
dude.
Yeah.
There's gonna be RNG in these kind of games.
Spatula
guys.
shouldn't be in the round 1 carousel. Can I just say that? Like, the fact that, like, whoever spawns near a carousel, like, or near spatula, oh, that's who they're taking, like, it's theirs, feels really dumb. Like, it's the pick every time in the first carousel. Can we all agree on that? Like, you always pick spatula there?
No, I don't agree on that.
Really?
Actually, not in some metas, because I think I would rather have an extra completed item than extra unit, half the time, because I can buy extra
Really?
experience. I cannot buy items, you know? Like, I can buy levels, I cannot buy items. So, like, when I was playing Wild Sorcerers, I would never, ever go for Spatula. Because that means I might be missing out on a Spear of Shojin, like, on my Aurelion Soul, and then I fucking lose the game to have, like, 1 extra unit that I don't really want, right? Like, it's like, for me, the items are just so good that just taking 2 Spatulas is already, like, a big investment. Like, it's a big downgrade for your carry unit, I think. So it's not something that you always take. It's not a no-brainer, which I think is good. And I think... generally, I really like what Pheylop also said about the items, that 2 items combine into something. I think that's also really good. What I don't like about it is, well, maybe, I mean, this sounds weird, but sometimes I intentionally lose to go to carousel to get a specific item and it doesn't spawn. It really triggers me. But I mean, I guess that's just like RNG, so that's not necessarily a bad thing. Also, body blocking in the carousel. I don't know if you guys know about that.
It's so awesome.
It's like, but let's imagine this. You're playing competitive TFT and you're like a top HP guy. And then there's fucking 7 people literally standing on the item that you want. So you're like, you cannot get it. Impossible. Like,
so good.
think about it. It's like the optimal play for the other 7 people is literally to fucking stand
that
on
can
the
become a
item
problem in
so you
competitive,
can't
right?
get it. Like, right now, people just take their item and fuck off back to their corner, right? But, like, imagine if that actually is gonna happen. Like, you would get triggered so hard and we would be back in this call saying, like, fuck this shit. It's so fucking
That can happen
annoying.
right now easily if you're in a group of all people that know the game well. Like, I was playing earlier. I was on the carousel and I literally went 1 by 1. Like, I want that. Okay, it's taken. 1 by 1. No, I want that. I want that. It's taken. It's taken. It's taken. It's taken. 1 by 1. Like, I was like the items I wanted were like in a row what people took. Like, people are getting gooder. Wow, I just said gooder. Better at the game.
Yeah.
But it's like people actually like have like everyone's kind of agreeing on like what items are best, or to an extent, not completely. And that's what people take from the carousel usually is items. And so it'll get to the point where you don't have to communicate at all. It'll just be like, if you're a good player, like, you take this BF sword and you go stand next to the other one. And then everyone will start doing that, right?
I think it's such a cool concept because, when there are a lot of items out, there are only like 2 people who are grabbing items. As there are more and more people on the map, there are less and less items to grab. And that means that there's lower and lower priority players getting items. And I think that it's cool that the people with the lowest priority who have the highest health can get body blocked from getting anything they want. I don't know. I just kind of like that.
I feel like you already get screwed enough because 6 get taken before you get to go. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah, and if 6 people manage to ban against you and fuck you, good for you.
Can you actually push someone? Like, can you push someone?
You can't push
or
people,
can
right?
Only block?
You can mess with their pathing.
You can mess up the pathing where they like take the other item, right? Because they have to like maybe.
You could surround the item
walk
completely.
around
Is what
you,
we're saying.
Yeah,
You
but
can't surround someone completely, I don't think.
But can't you be like in front of him and then they click behind you, but it doesn't work that pathing, so
Yeah.
it goes around you. So you pick, and so you make them pick the other item. Yeah, so you can basically
Yeah,
kind
but
of
realistically,
to an item.
realistically, that's only round 1. Like that's the time that's to happen the most. In other rounds, like there's not gonna be another item for you to bump into most of the time. It's like a really, really, really fringe.
You can always try. You can always try. Like
I think that I think that's great that people can always try that. I don't know. I think it's a good thing.
I don't want to do that though, but okay, it feels so
Why not,
cold, man.
dude? I mean, you know how much I
mean,
love when people get griefed in games.
Because this isn't
exactly.
this isn't
I feel like it's so fun with friends or something, but not. And when
Yeah.
you're drunk on Saturday night, it's so fun to do that. But
it's not the type of
in a
game.
competitive game, but come on, dude.
It's not the type of game where that
outta here.
like it. I want to talk about overflowing, by the way, but it's not the type of thing about like the reason I'm saying overflowing is they don't want APM to be one of the things in this game. They want your decisions to be the reason you win this game, not your movements, your APM, anything like that. They're not your mechanics. They want your decisions to be because it's a strategy game. We'll talk about overflowing in just a sec, but
I think you can emphasize certain things and still have like slight references to other skill sets. Like, I don't think it's a very APM demanding or technically demanding thing to have that stay as the way it is. That being said, like, maybe enough people don't like it where they'll change it. I'm just saying, like, where it is right now, I think is okay. Like, I'm happy with where it is.
okay.
I think it's not that big of a problem because the bench is bigger. Like, you have +1 on your bench, so like naturally you don't run into many overflowing problems in this game. I feel like.
Oh, dude, I do all the
At
time.
least I haven't really had many problems with it.
I've had massive issues with it, to be honest. I keep having issues with it like every game. That's weird. I wonder if it's a playstyle thing. But
As someone who has 50 gold all the time, I have that problem all.
let me explain my issues with overflowing real quick.
Don't pick up so much random stuff then.
It has nothing to do with the APM thing. I completely think it's great that they want to make APM less of a factor in this game and make it more about your decisions, right? That makes complete sense to me because it's a strategy game. It's supposed to be like not a turn-based game, but pretty close to it. Makes complete sense to me. What I really hate is that I think overflowing enables certain decisions. I think that what loose streaking, what you can do is loose streaking, open forwarding in particular, but loose streaking in general, is they overflow more than anyone because what they want is that they want to find those shops they didn't have earlier. So they skipped over like 3 or 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 25, I don't know, shops in order to get their interest and their gold. Because they didn't need to win rounds, they didn't really buy units. And so by re-rolling and overflowing, they get to be offered all those shops at a singular time and make their decision from that. They get to, overflow by however much they can. That's and I like that feeling for loose streaking. But another thing that is involved like every game, I don't know if you have noticed this, pivoting feels fucking impossible because overflowing allows pivoting, right?
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah, there's no pivoting in this game.
No, there's no.
Because
I think you have like strong units early, like knights or something, and then you can like look to something. But once you pick up the 3 costs or upgrade the 2 costs, you're kind of committed.
yes, pivoting is such a high level thing in DAC, like when to do it and when not to do it. And overflowing allows you to make that decision. You overflow, you buy the stuff that like maybe I can make a comp out of this, and if I don't hit it while I'm rerolling, I sell them and it's fine. But you don't, by not allowing overflowing, you disallow that possibility. You can't buy the Dragon Knights to see if you hit more Dragon Knights and then switch to dragons on top of your mages, that kind of thing, right? You can't do that. And that feels like really sad to me. It's one of I think one of the highest level things in DAC was the people that would pivot to something at the right time and get rewarded for it heavily. I really miss that.
So what if they have like a little chamber that has like 3 slots in it that you have between rounds but disappears during the round? Does that change the game too much? Is that just a good addition? Like
wait.
Why not the whole
Re-explain? What?
Not.
like
It just means
it just
see,
like basically there's just like an extra like certain amount of spaces below your bench that appears during the during the timer.
So an overflow
and it
area.
just disappears. Yeah, it's an overflow area, so you don't have to drag onto the board. It's just an overflow area for you to do stuff like that with.
So it just automatically sells any unit on that overflow bench
Yeah,
once the round
exactly.
starts. Yeah, I mean, and that would kind of make sense to me, honestly. It's not a bad solution.
Yeah, it's not bad.
sounds good.
So I actually tweeted
All right,
at
hire me.
Riot Set Magic, and I said everything I just said in a twit longer. And he responded to me and said, "We understand people want that, and we're going to look at ways to add those elements of strategy to the game while not adding APM as being a requirement, or not at least not too much." So that's probably a good way of doing that. Something like that. Of course, it still makes pivoting harder because you still can't hold on to just like 2 Dragon Knights or that kind of thing. But it's still, I think that's totally like an acceptable middle ground. So yeah.
sounds good.
Anything
Make
else?
it happen.
Anything else you guys Any other thoughts on items in general you guys want to talk about?
I'm super happy with their approach to it, and I like that they're balancing them rapidly.
Yeah.
But there are some items that like don't feel good at all, and I think those are items are the ones that need to look at the most. Like initially, I was like, "Who the fuck's up? Build the dragon's tooth?" And I'm like, "Holy shit, this item is like the most important thing half the time."
Yeah.
And then I'm glad like stuff like that changed, but like stuff like I will like right now I'm still actively avoiding building redemptions. Like that item is just so bad.
What?
It feels.
It's not
Oh, I don't
that
hate
bad.
it. I actually don't hate it, but
What?
Oh, I actually
I
just
don't
never build it. I never build it. It's one of the items where like I don't feel like it's good.
I don't think
know.
it's that good either.
I think
I
it's
just
fine.
never build it. Like I spend like almost all my time building stuff like I think like I don't even build Ludens very much, but I build a lot of like Morellos. I build a lot of like obviously all the recurrent items. Everyone's built a bunch of.
yeah, you
them,
guys
except for,
love
like,
Morellos. I'm not a
Perspade.
huge Morellos person because I just want like immediate damage and immediate impact kind of items.
Have you seen a Garen
Yes, I
spin to
have.
3 units?
I have.
Have you seen that?
I have.
I think Morelos is the best item in the game.
Really?
Like, one of the best.
Well,
Venom
what
does
does?
really better,
Can you
but
explain what the item
it's
does,
like-
Morello? I have no idea.
Burns 5%
It
of
is the
max
one
HP
that
plus
is
spell.
needlessly large
Go
rod
ahead.
and the giant spell. It gives
Okay.
you amplified ability power and makes it so that your abilities
Ah,
also
you can't
heal
heal.
5% of their HP.
Yeah.
Well, the
Yeah.
important thing to note here is that it ticks 5 times. So it effectively does 25% of someone's max HP guaranteed through any magic immunity or armor that they might have. Plus, everyone rerolls for 3 stars like an idiot in this game. So that means that your Morellonomicon is gonna hurt their 3 stars like really hard. Like
As
even,
much as it would hurt a 1-star.
like I've actually beat like 3-star players with just 2 stars with Morellonomicon just because their 3 stars are just dying to my spinning Garen that's spinning in their face. You know, it's just like it's just such an amazing item, and especially now that Zeke's is bad. I would never ever use a Giant's Belt on pretty much anything else that's like not a
Titanic
Titanic
Hydra?
Hydra or a
Yeah, okay,
Morellonomicon.
okay.
Like Titanic is good in very situational cases on like Shapeshifter Gnar or like Gunslingers. That's like the 2 cases I probably use it.
I think it's
like
good
a
on
very
3-star carries in general, to be honest. I think it's just good on 3-star carries with high health totals. That's what it
Yeah,
scales off
it's
of, right?
definitely a very high damage item, and it allows you to like pierce defenses kind of because if your carry's hitting the front line, it's also hitting the unit directly behind it, so you can actually kill people with it, which is kind of cool.
do you think Zeke's is
I
that
think
bad?
it's a very strong item. Yeah, it's absolutely awful now. I think
Really?
10% is like
It is a
they
huge
literally
nerf,
halved
but
it.
oh.
They halved it, man. Like
Yeah, it's
2 Zeeks
massive.
is now 1 Zeeks from last time, and the 1 Zeeks was never really regarded as like the best item in the game.
I mean, it still has stats. It still has stats. They didn't cut the stats in half. Right?
It's
I think I
terrible,
regarded
man.
Zeke's as the best item in the game beforehand, actually.
I think it was one of the best ones, but I think now it's trash because you always want to get Morellonomicon with your Giants build,
Yeah, I should do that.
That's what
and
we
you
want.
want to get other
Really,
things
you
with
don't
your
want
dev
to.
swords. Like
Yeah.
Aya just super, Aya just super good. Aya just really underrated. Like it's criminally underrated. It increases your unit's damage by a ridiculous amount.
Yeah, I just say.
What is highest
and-
the crit damage?
Yes.
It's BF sword, crit damage.
Dude, that item on Assassins?
Yep.
Feels good.
You don't even need it on
Yes.
assassins. Okay, so crit damage is a flat stat in this game, right? So every unit has a chance to crit 25%,
Yeah.
I think. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes, 25
Yeah.
is
To deal
right.
150 to deal 50% more damage, but with IH it's like 150% more damage, right? So with assassins, it basically turns 600% damage into 700% damage. It's like I think for
Feels good.
assassins, I don't think it matters that much because
Yeah,
when they
probably
crit,
kill them anyway.
they overkill hardcore anyways when they crit, especially 6. For
Yeah,
3 I
that's-
can see it, but for 6 they don't need it. They would rather have Sword of the Divine to always crit because that's much more value, right? Because their crits are already so strong, you might just want to get more crits more often. So like Sword of the Divine Akali, for example, is just ridiculous. Like
What
it
if-
one-shots everything.
What are your guys' thoughts on Bloodthirster?
I build it pretty
Yeah,
often, to be
Pretty
honest.
bad.
Really.
What is
It's
it?
so
What
funny.
is the
Different
Bloodthirster?
items.
Let's talk.
What is it? Is that the...
I build on
It's,
frontline.
Well-
it's the lifesteal item. It's BF Sword plus
Oh,
Negative.
okay.
I don't build on frontline. I should say I build it on frontline needs to deal least amount of damage. Like I put it on the Graves. I'll actually put it on Lucian 3 because Lucian 3 can just like solo carry. You can't put it on like backline units. Like you're not gonna put it on a Tristana because Tristana just doesn't take much damage. Sometimes I will just because it's
Yeah.
what I have, but that's with every item.
What about like on Cassidon?
Yeah, I think Kassadin's a
Yeah,
good use case
yeah,
for
it'd be
it.
fine.
But then again, usually Kassadin's like a stopgap for me, like a unit that I use in the early game,
Me
like
too. Me
anti-mage,
too.
and then you just don't really end up using him late game unless it's like so it's kind of like just an item dump,
Unless
but you don't
3-star.
really put Bloodthirster on him because it's the only unit who can use it. So you don't want to make a Bloodthirster because you probably want to use those ingredients to make other items and like the more impactful in late game, right? That's how I feel.
Wait, so Tabzz, you don't even like Bloodthirster on Assassins?
I've used it sometimes. It heals a lot, but I don't think they really need it. I've used it on Akali actually one time. It was okay.
He's on Akali like last
But
game.
I don't think it was like amazing. Because usually I think when assassins take damage, they probably die anyway, so they got CC'd. I don't think they can really solo carry with a BT or something.
But there's a lot of
give them
AoE
a BT
damage,
and a
right?
Solo carry.
Like an Aurelion Soul hit, right? They can heal that afterwards? That kind of thing?
Yeah, it's definitely pretty good. I think it's not bad at all, honestly, on assassins. I still prefer other items usually.
Yeah.
But I think it's not a bad pick.
I usually prefer other items as well. Yeah. I still don't build it like. Yeah. What's your guys' number one pick right now in terms of these items? Not spatula, the other items.
Recurve bow.
Yeah, I'm back to recurve bow right now.
It kind of depends. At the moment, spatula probably because I want to build into.
No, besides spatula.
Aside from spatula.
Okay, so then probably BF sword, I think.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's my second.
maybe.
That's my second.
I think recurve bow is good for Phantom Dancer, but since rapid fire cannon is bugged, it's like I don't really play it rapid fire cannon anymore. And then I could use it for Phantom Dancer to counter assassin mirrors, which is good, or like just counter assassins in general. So recurve bow is pretty strong. I think BF sword is also
right?
really strong.
Do you never build Rageblade?
Oh yeah, that's what I meant to say.
Never.
Yeah.
No, I never build it anymore.
What?
Oh, interesting.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man, I build Rageblade all the time. Interesting.
Build 4 Rageblades.
I mean, it depends. Yeah, dude. If you're playing like Rangers or something, then I think Ginsu is.
I guess
it's actually really good.
that's why we're different, right? Because I'm building more gunslingers and rangers, and you're preferring. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
that's why.
Like I play mages and assassins. I never build Rageblade because it's like useless for me.
Okay.
So like for me, I want stuff like Morelos and Phantom Dancers and shit. So I don't really care too much about Ginsu's because I don't really have a sustained damage carry.
I watched Pheylop have a Vayne 3 with triple Rageblade. It's pretty good.
They nerfed it though. From the first patch.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not really that strong anymore.
Yeah. It's not.
I mean, I think it has its place, right? Like it has its place, which is what you want to say about most items. Like the item should never just be like, I always want to build this item, right? You should always be.
I think an item should feel good when you build it, and for me, Rageblade often doesn't really feel that good unless I have like it's like a specific comp for it, right? Then it kind of feels okay, but still not really as impactful as an IH. I think IH is almost always better than like Rageblade in terms of damage output.
Yeah, but like one of those involves 2 BF swords, another one involves a recurve bow and a needlessly large rod. It's
Well,
just like
they do different things, right? Like on obviously on an Ashe, I'm talking about Rangers, but on an Ashe you're gonna prefer having a faster attack speed, right? For freezes.
Yeah.
And like when I have a Tristana with Titanic Hydra, right? I want more attack speed because I want more Titanic Hydra procs.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think it's how fast you can stack it mostly. Like some carriers just can't stack it very fast. So like you end up like if they're doing 10 auto attacks, that's like a 7-8 second battle already, right? And most TFT fights are over by then. Unless you're like
they're decided really usually.
Fight.
Yeah.
So like a Rageblade at that point would give you maybe like 30% extra attack speed, right? At like a best case scenario, that's not really that much if you think about it. It's like extra bit of attack speed. It really makes a huge difference in like really long fights. Then this feels amazing. But like in shorter fights, in a meta where there's like sorcerers and in a meta where there are assassins, I think the build it's absolutely awful, and you kind of just want PD most of the time because when the assassins jump your carry, it just never dies because of the PD. It's like
so strong.
It's much more valuable than having a little bit more attack speed.
So that's the cool thing about items, right? You can make your choices on like what the meta is, and like you had the magic resist item as well for like previous meta.
Yeah.
So I really like how to do items. The only problem is that like you can only do it on like one unit. You cannot build Naga or something, right? If you're playing against mages, there's no Naga. You can just make one.
It's not
unit,
like a tech synergy.
Really strong.
That's what you're saying, like a yeah.
But you're playing a game where you have your most important unit. Like in TFT, you basically have your couple units that are the most important ones.
Do you guys like
those
that
are the ones that you're gonna itemize on? I think.
Do you guys like the carry design?
There's still a lot of armor. I don't know why is there no magic resist. I don't know. There's still a lot of armor stuff, and there's nothing for magic resist. It's just only items. That's too bad. But I mean, it's not. I mean, it's not a problem now. But...
Yeah, but I don't know. With the item thing, I just think it's good that it's not automatically like this item's the best. I'm gonna build this item every time.
The fact that we're debating is a good thing.
Why is Cursed Blade so bad? Like I feel like I never built that item.
I mean, low chance to shrink enemy unit.
Yeah, what the fuck does that mean?
Dude, I got messed up sometimes by that thing, dude. Holy
That
moly.
thing is like when it procs, it's legit fucking
It's
amazing.
so
But
good.
it's
Yeah.
low chance, you know.
Yeah,
No,
whatever
who
that
knows?
chance is.
But here's the thing: if it just said
like
49%
49.
chance or something, I'd be like, I'm in, you know. But like
If
the
it's-
fact that it says low chance, I'm like, is that 5? Is that 5%?
Yeah, like low chance makes me think it's like 2-3% or something.
Yeah.
Like low, you know, it's like really low. Like
Oh
high,
yeah, Sleet, you're right.
high chance using like 20 or something.
Sorry, Sleet, you're right. Like Dragon Synergy, it's anti. You're right.
Yeah, but the dragons are mages, you know. So
Yeah,
if
yeah.
You're countering mages with mages. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
fucking countering fire with fire.
Yeah, exactly.
Kinda
Exactly.
silly.
Yeah, it is. Sorry, I wanted to.
Cool.
Uh,
All right. Well, so I think overall, just I don't even think I said my thoughts. I think overall, this is my favorite item system. I just don't like the fact of how like swingy they are in terms of how many items drop from creeps. Like it can be really swingy, but that's the same thing in DAC. But overall, I think it's my favorite item system. I feel like I'm making a lot of choices every game about them. So
Yeah, I love the item system too. It's the best thing about TFT, I think.
Yep.
Like
I
I feel
like
like
that.
TFT is also a lot about item planning. The whole game is around
Yes.
item planning.
Yes.
Like which items do I want? I scout my enemies in early games. Like, do I need to build you know, a rapid fire cannon to counter Yordles? Do I need to build like a Venomous to counter assassins, or like a Dragon's Claw? Do I need to build to counter Aurelions? And like I think that's a really cool, interesting thought process. You have to like memorize which items you have. You can like look at your board and like memorize the items and like which ones do I want and like which ones do I still need. And I think that is actually one of the most fun things about the game, honestly.
but it's so cool. It's so, like that part's so skill intensive because it's not really about the meta, right? It's just about what's happening in the game and what people are going. Like I've
Yeah.
seen games where there are 0 wild sorcerer players, and some guy builds a dragon's tooth. And I'm like, this guy's a fucking idiot. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
like-
You don't have to build it.
yeah, but like that's why like so often you leave your items around. And you're like, what do I need later? Like what possibility of combinations do I need to have available to me once like the late game comes around? Depending on who's alive, what options do I want to have open to me with the items that I have sitting around to build into what items? It really just depends.
You know,
do
an item
you
I
guys-
think that is underrated, by the way. I'm not sure if you guys know this, but you can actually target an enemy with Zephyr. So like you can actually
Yes.
target where it's gonna go.
yeah,
So it's like if you're playing against someone who has like one carry in the corner, you can just Zephyr it. You can just build a Zephyr, put your units so where it's gonna Zephyr exactly that unit, and like it has won me a lot of like Aurelion Soul mirrors or something.
Wait, how does
So
it
just
target?
Zephyr-
it's mirrored. So
It's mirrored. Like
Oh,
if you
okay.
put it on your corner, it's like it puts it on the exact opposite corner, the tornado, which I think is really cool because, you know, I thought that
Nice.
it was random, but then I found out like you can actually target it, and I was like, holy shit, that's like one of the coolest things like ever. And I
wait,
think
skill.
mirrored's the wrong word, isn't it? It's not mirrored. It's
It's mirrored,
rotated?
right? No, it's
No,
mirrored.
it's
It's like on the
mirrored.
opposite side of the board,
Yeah,
like
it's
exactly the same space.
like if
Like,
you're bottom
except-
left, then it's top right.
Yeah, so that's mirrored, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I
Maybe
guess-
If
Oh,
I
no,
think
no,
about
it's
looking
not
at a
mirrored.
mirror, right?
Exactly
Yeah, it's not
inverse-
mirrored. If you look at a
inverse.
mirror, right?
Exactly where
Right.
your spot. It's actually the same spot as yours.
Yes.
Yeah, it's inverse
Same
mirrored,
spot,
whatever you
yeah.
want to call it.
What if there's nothing on the spot that you're on? Is it random then?
It's closest to that.
I don't know actually.
It's
Is it
closest.
closest?
Yeah, it's closest.
Okay.
I was able to hit like a Yasuo every single time that was not even close to the spot, or not, but it was the closest still. Like it was on the opposite side of the map, kind of thing. So, yeah, no, it's closer to the spot. So, all right, I think we're good. It was like a long episode. That's good. We had Tabzz on here. I want to thank Tabzz so much for coming on the show. I know it's like super late where you are. Looking at your window, it looks like it's early now. So.
Yeah, let's not talk about that.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming on the show. I appreciate that. Hope to
Yeah,
have you
no
again
problem. It was
sometime.
fun.
Yeah. Rens and Pheylop, anything you guys want
Ooh,
to say?
last words?
Yeah, last words.
My last words will be, as this week has passed, I have continued to outperform Rens in any tournament that we both win.
Shut up. Shut up.
Those are my parting words.
All right.
Rens, any last words for the podcast?
No.
No,
Yeah, that's what I thought.
no, come back. All right. Thank you all so much for watching.
I have nothing.
Everyone watching YouTube doesn't care about this, but this will be on YouTube probably in the next right when I stop streaming. So probably a couple hours or whatever. So I'll be uploading right to YouTube. So if anyone is tuning in late and wants to watch it, you can do it there.
Yeah, maybe Tabzz wants to plug his stream.
Yeah. If you
No, I'm good, man.
no.
No.
I'm
Tabzz
good.
HD.
Twitch.tv/Tabzz Go follow him right now. Like right now.
I learned a lot from Tabzz from DAC.
Yeah, no.
Probably
yeah.
from TFT as well, dude.
Dude, Tabzz had like 3 accounts in the top 25 or something, right? This is pretty crazy.
Ooh.
He's on Team Liquid. You know he's good.
Exactly. Yeah, for sure.
Thank you guys for having me on. It's been a wonderful time discussing stuff with you guys, venting frustrations, and enjoying the camaraderie. Anyways, so I guess that's it, right?
Yeah. Thank you so much. Bye, everyone.
Yeah.
Bye.